guys, the Benidorm Enthusiast here, bringing you this video from a beautiful Levante beach. Bit of a news update for you today. I'm going to be chatting about what's been going on in Benidorm lately and discussing some recent news about Benidorm being the #1 holiday destination in the world for the Brits. Let's start with the weather. May is usually one of my favourite months weather-wise. Daytime peak temperatures are usually mid to low 20s. April was exceptionally hot this year compared to normal. Temperatures well above average for most of the month. In fact, Spain registered the hottest day ever recorded in April at the end of the month. It wasn't unbearable heat here in Benidorm. Most of the extremely high temperatures were inland, but it definitely wasn't a normal April, that's for sure. Temperatures have now dropped back down to the average. We also never got that pre-summer storm that we often get in April, although we have had a little rain this weekend just gone. Friday afternoon saw some rain. Surrounding areas like Alicante and Valencia got some pretty heavy storms, but it was quite mild here, nowhere near enough rain. We are experiencing a serious drought over here in Spain, and we need a lot more rain to ease that situation. No sign of it today though. It's currently 22 degrees and a lovely day. Very pleasant indeed. This sort of weather is just perfect for me. It's just how I like it. There is more rain forecast for the weekend. Let's see if it actually gets us here in Benidorm this time, or if the mountains surrounding us shield us from the storms once again. The weather forecast for the rest of the month is pretty unsettled for May actually, but never trust those long-term forecasts. Things can change so quickly. They are very rarely reliable. So don't worry too much if you're coming out later in the month and the forecast isn't looking too great. You can only really trust the forecast a few days in front for Benidorm, and even then it can still change in just a couple of hours. How busy has it been the last few weeks? It's been pretty crazy, I have to say. The last weekend in April, which led into the May Day bank holiday, was absolutely chock-a-block. You really would have struggled to get a hotel bed last minute if you had tried. Benidorm was very close to being technically full, with hotel occupancy over 95%. That meant that for the first time since COVID hit, tourism numbers were better than 2019 figures. The last 2 weeks in April this year were busier than before the pandemic. Absolutely brilliant news. We really are in for an incredible summer season. Now, I don't expect we'll be getting better numbers constantly for the rest of the year, but it most certainly is a very good start to the main season, and it fills us all with confidence that Benidorm is recovering tourism exceptionally well. The next weekend was an extra bank holiday for the Brits with the King's coronation, which meant it was another extremely busy one. If you haven't seen our video on how the coronation went celebrated here, go and check that out. Since Easter, we've seen more Brits booking for Benidorm to get the British market tourism numbers back to where they should be. There was a slight worry at Easter as the British market seemed to be lagging behind in numbers, but that has now changed. The last 2 weeks in April saw the tourist population of Benidorm split almost evenly between national tourists and the Brits. The percentage of tourists in Benidorm from Spain itself was 45.6% and 42.9% were from the UK. The rest of the tourist population was made up of Dutch at 2.7%, the Irish at 2.5%, Belgians 1.7%, the French 1.2%, and other nationalities made up less than 1% of the tourist population. Yes, the Brits are absolutely loving Benidorm this year. We already knew that though, didn't we? But TripAdvisor has now confirmed that Benidorm is the #1 tourist destination for the Brits. In a study looking at the most popular summer holiday destinations for Brits in 2023, Benidorm tops the list when it comes to holidays abroad. Another bit of fantastic news for us all here. Not too surprising for me, if I'm honest. As I always like to say, there is something for everybody in Benidorm. No matter what you're into or what you're looking for from your holiday, you can find it here. It is a massive resort with so many different areas which all have a different kind of vibe and suit different people. The Rincon side is great for British families. You've got the New Town if you want to party, the Old Town if you want to have a more traditional Spanish experience, and there's an area in between the New Town and Old Town which is really coming into its own now. We've always called it the Centro area, but the Brits are now starting to call it Midtown, and this area is perfect if you like a really international feel to your holiday, with a big mix of nationalities surrounding you and a big mix of bars and restaurants to represent and serve that diversity. If it's a more peaceful and calm holiday you're after, then the Poniente side could be best for you. And the beauty of Benidorm is that all these areas run into each other. It's almost like having 6 or 7 different resorts in one. So it's no surprise to me that it has topped the list as the favourite abroad holiday destination for the British, because it has so much to offer. We've got beaches to relax on, mountains to hike, water sports, go-karts, jet skis, buggy and jeep excursions, horse riding, golf, snorkeling, paintball, boat trips. We've got theme parks and fun fairs, we've got zoos, we've got water parks. The list goes on, and not to mention an average of 300 days of sunshine a year, a fabulous microclimate, an absolutely massive choice for accommodation, and literally thousands of bars and restaurants to cater for every taste imaginable. Yes, I can completely understand why it's #1, and I know most of you guys watching too. But if you haven't been to Benidorm yet, what are you waiting for? Before I get on to some more recent news about Benidorm, let's just have a little look at the other destinations which came in the top 10 on that TripAdvisor list. In second place was Antalya, Turkey. In third was Paris, France. 2 more Spanish destinations then followed. Barcelona on the mainland in 4th, and Costa Adeje in Tenerife came in 5th place. Amsterdam was 6th, Dubai 7th, Rome in 8th place, New York was 9th on the list, and coming in at 10th place was Albufeira in Portugal. I can tick 6 of them on the list. I must try harder to get to the other places. Taking Benidorm out of the equation, I think Amsterdam was my favourite out of all the ones I've visited, although I do love Barcelona as well, so that's a close call. How about you guys watching? Let us know in the comments how many you visited and which were your favourites and why. Some more local news for you now. We've just had a fantastic weekend celebrating Eurovision here. There was a massive street party here at the Plaza Triangular with the show on a big screen and live performances from some of Spain's biggest upcoming acts. Thousands of Euro fans partied the weekend away in the Plaza. There was even a fan zone set up, and it all went very successfully from what I've heard. I didn't get to see it, I was working at the bar, but I could hear the bass pounding out even from our terrace, and I saw lots of happy people making their way home after the event. Local eateries got involved in Eurovision fever once again by reviving the different tapas recipes and dishes which they adapted to a Eurovision theme in a contest earlier this year. The first ever Tapa Fest was a great success. 18 establishments took part, and the winner was Pinocchio Playa. The winning tapa, named Hola Rafaela, after a Spanish TV programme from the 90s, consisted of polenta, parmesan cream, ossobuco and risotto crisp. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Talking about food is making me hungry, so I'm going to leave it here for you today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok at the Benidorm Enthusiast. Thanks for watching, stay positive and stay safe.